Welcome to week 9 of the WebCenter World Series. This is the ninth inning. This is our final week of the entire scheduled event. We've gone through every major component of the WebCenter division, with the exception of this evening's topic, which will be business building. So up to this point, we've talked about the 5 C's and really following that as your business building process. We've talked about our core product, which is a website and the platform. We've talked about content marketing. We then went on to discuss the digital marketing products of search engine optimization, search engine marketing with Google advertising. We talked about Facebook advertising, social media marketing. We've talked a little bit about email marketing as well as online reputation management, and we had a nice recap session as well. And this evening, we are going to talk about why it's so important to expand distribution through prospecting, qualifying, and sponsoring, leveraging the WebCenter division. So the same 5 C's that we use to build out a WebCenter business in terms of retail can also be used to prospect, recruit, and sponsor new unfranchised owners and WebCenter owners. So let's just go ahead and review the 5 C's, right? First, we need to identify our leads and have a candidate list. Next, we're going to do some candidate research and find out their current situation. Third, we're going to contact the candidates and approach them for an appointment to schedule. The 4th C is a consultation, right? Conduct a 15-minute consultation, or when the unfranchised business, we talk about maybe a discovery meeting or maybe a part 1. And the last C, we're going to close them into sharing the business, sharing the details on unfranchised business presentation, and then closing them into a trial run. So everything, again, is going to start with that candidate list. And when we talk about prospecting and qualifying and sponsoring, we talk about building a names list, right? And again, everything ideally comes down to having a warm market. So we're going to build this out with a warm market, 60 to 200 names. You know, the average person knows 100 to 300 people, a little bit more than acquaintance. You know their name, they know you, and there's a little bit of a relationship. So it is a warm relationship. You're going to take a look at your friends, family, neighbors, teammates, high school and college classmates or alum, organizations you belong to, churches or groups that you belong or have belonged to, work colleagues, current and past positions that you've held, and of course, social media, whether it's Insta or it's Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, you've got a built-in names list already. So what are you going to do from that point? You're going to go through this process of identifying more possibilities. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at who might be an industry professional, because that's going to be closely related to the WebCenter division. So we're going to do a little workshop. I'd like you to take out a pen and paper and just start doing some brainstorming, a memory jogger. I'd like you to identify or think of who do you know that is in graphic design, right? Graphic design. They do logo work. Maybe they do some print work. Maybe they're doing signage graphics, flyers. Maybe you know some people that are web designers, right? So who do you know that's a web designer? Now, in both of those categories, who do you know that's working for maybe a graphic or web design firm? Who do you do business with, right? Are you in a current networking group that might have these individuals? Or who do you know that's well connected with this type of individual? How about web developers, right? A lot of people might know someone in web development. How about SEO? There's a lot of agencies out there. Who do you know that works for an SEO company? Or how about social media? You probably have some contacts that are freelancers, are working in social media management, doing their own kind of side hustle, managing some social media. And how about those that you know that are advertising sales representatives, right? They sell advertising for different companies, whether it's a radio group, a newspaper group, maybe the Spectrum coupon magazines. And lastly, who do you know that's involved in IT services, IT consulting, networking, maybe computer networking, obviously. What about people that have a focus in software or hardware, right? Anyone that you know that's in IT. Maybe they work for a company that focuses on IT. Maybe you know that they're maybe a computer engineer and they work for a big corporation, but they've got a background in IT services. The idea is that they're well connected with other people that can talk that language. Now, the next thing you can do is maybe a lot of those people don't come to mind. What you can do is type it in, we call it an advanced search. You can do it right on Facebook and say, friends who work at self-employed, friends who are graphic or web design. You can even just type in web design or graphic design or design, and you'll find that you might have some contacts that have that as one of their positions that they have listed in their profile information, say on Facebook. You can also search LinkedIn. You can also do an advanced search on Twitter. So leverage those tools to find out the contacts that you already know and that you already have some type of relationship with that are connected within a computer-related industry. So possibilities really are everywhere. Just add 2 names per day. I think one of the easiest way to get names is to ask for referrals, right? Talk to some business owners in your area and say, hey, I'm looking to connect with some web designers. Who do you know that's a web designer? Hey, I'm looking to connect with some people who are maybe graphic designers or went to school for graphic design that may or may not be doing it now, right? Who do you know that might be in IT? And you'll usually get some names and you'll have a warm reference or referral to talk to those individuals. So it's simply a numbers game in terms of adding to your candidate list. And again, if you're looking for ways to add to that list, well, how about this? How about join a community and create a persona? So that could be joining a social network. It could be joining a business networking group, plenty of them, Chamber of Commerce's, BNI groups, LATIP groups, Toastmasters groups, small business associations. Join a different group, maybe even getting involved in the local booster club or the PTA, PTO. Any organization really will get you in contact with more individuals. And then your job is to simply connect with the intent to engage, right? Not connect with the intent to sell. Don't connect with the intent to approach. Connect with the intent to engage them in conversation so you can build the relationship. And once you've started to build rapport, build some trust, build a relationship, then you can determine the best way to connect and contact these prospects. Now, when you're looking at industry professionals, again, networking groups are a great way, referrals, warm markets, including your existing clients. So maybe you have an existing clientele and you can ask them, hey, looking to connect with like-minded professionals. Who does your graphic design work? Maybe if they're not a Google advertising client, who does your Google AdWords? Right? Who manages your social media? And it might be an employee that does their social media. Great. That might be a great contact to talk with them about this business. And then there's other sites that deal with freelance services. There's one called Elance, one called Fiverr, Craigslist, LinkedIn, right? So there's a lot of sites out there. Alignable is another one. How about Lunch Club? There's so many different sites online right now that are kind of building some great networking opportunities for their professionals. So look into some of those. So never use the excuse that I don't know anyone, right? Take it out of your excuse pile. The difference between success and failure is so simple. The individual who succeeds simply did what the individual who failed did not do or is not willing to do. Are you willing to add more names to your list? Are you willing to put yourself out there and join a group? Are you willing to go out there and ask people for referrals? It's simply a matter of time. And after you build your list, you got to prioritize that list. So we call it your top 10. So approaches are determined for the top 10 with your business partner. So work with someone, let them help you identify who this top 10 is and what the best approach may be. And of course, continue to build relationships with everyone on the list because it's only a matter of time. But before you ever focus on approaching them for an appointment, well, you want to build that relationship. Ask questions, learn about them, right? Are you interesting or are you interested? Be interested in them. Follow the simple form method. Form, family, occupation, recreation, money. Identify more about them and how you can expose their pain or find some maybe areas that they're looking for some solutions, right? Talk to them about their family. Do they get enough time with their family? Do they get to go on the vacations they'd like to go on? What do they do for work? Do they have a side hustle? Do they work part-time, second job, third job? What do they like to do for fun? Do they golf? Do they ski? Do they snowboard? Do they ride horses? Do they mountain bike? Do they hike? Do they surf? Do they like to read? What do they like to do for recreation? And of course, do they have the time and money to do everything that they'd like to do in life, ultimately? Right? So people will be attracted when you show that you care, you're excited, you believe in your business. But most important, the topic that they're most interested in is themselves. And when you can build that relationship and you show that you care, people buy into you, and want to be around you because they feel good when they're in your presence. Once you've kind of narrowed down the top relationships and you might have a solution for them, now it's time to schedule the appointments, book the appointments. And a call workshop or a text workshop is a great way to do that. Schedule once a week minimum. You and your partners get together and you focus on contacting that top 10 to schedule your appointments, right? And you can find this right in the basic 5. This is not anything that you haven't seen before. It's all part of the business building process. And it works the same in the WebCenter division. Hi, I only have a second. The reason I'm calling is so-and-so recommended I give you a call. I only have a second. The reason I'm calling is I'm looking to expand my business and your name came to mind. I only have a second. The reason I'm calling is I heard that you're involved in graphic design. I'm looking to network people just like you. Step 2, edify them. I understand you may know the right people. I was told that you know everyone. I've been told that you've been in business for 20 years and so successful. Right? I only have a second. The reason I'm calling is I'm looking for a graphic designer and you came highly recommended. In fact, when I asked so-and-so if they knew anyone, they came, right to the top of their tongue was your name. They said, you have to talk to so-and-so. I want to get together for a coffee, right? Could be with or without a business partner, right? I want to get together for a cup of coffee. I'd like to get together for, a meeting. I'd like to Zoom with you. I'd like to get on a three-way call. I'd like to meet you for lunch. I'd like to just have a conversation. Whatever the meeting is, right? Let them know I want to get together. 4, you may or may not be interested, and either way is fine with me, but I was hoping you could help me out. Would you be available for 15 minutes, right? Would you be available to take a look at what I've got up my got going on? Would you be willing to sit down and learn a little bit about what I'm doing? Because I think you might be able to lead me in the right direction, right? Very simple. And if they ask questions, that's why you're looking to meet, right? Don't get caught in the 20 questions. If they ask a question and you answer it, they're going to ask another question. Then you're going to answer it, and you're going to talk yourself right out of an appointment. Don't try and describe what we got going on. If they ask you, can you tell me a little bit about what you're looking for? Then you better have your power statement. You better have an answer to what do you do. You better have an answer to what is it, and then book the appointment. And that's why I'm looking to get together. When can we have 10 or 15 minutes? How soon can we talk for 15 minutes? I would be really excited to show you what we've got going on, right? And again, passion and enthusiasm can be felt. So you want to make sure that you speak slowly and openly about what you've got, right? So it's important to explore all of the areas to make an educated decision. That's why I want to get together with you. I'd like to talk to you about the products and services. I'd like to talk to you about the profitability, the system, how it works, and the support. Right? So when you're sitting down with them, these are the things that we need to talk through, right? Just like a part 1 or part 2, when we're talking about the unfranchised business, we need to talk about, is this a product or service that they might like? What's the potential behind the opportunity, right? Is it profitable? How does the system work? What kind of support is available? And what are their options? And you can cover all of that when you follow our business building strategy, right? We've got a couple ways to share the WebCenter opportunity, right? Right on mawc411.com under Evaluate, there's a PowerPoint, right? The WebCenter Owner Overview and the WebCenter Pro Overview PowerPoints. You can attend a live webinar overview when they're scheduled. You can watch a recorded overview or something from our YouTube channel, but you can also go to your unfranchised marketing app, and under WebCenters and B2B services, there's a great little video, 2-minute video that gives an overview of what it might be like to own a web center. There's also a flyer. What is a web center? So use the tools to start the conversation and then schedule the follow-up, right? We build from event to event, share some information, schedule a follow-up, share some information, schedule a follow-up. So the process is very similar to how we share the business. And again, for those in the US have the WebCenter Pro Program, there's a whole page dedicated to the WebCenter Pro Program as well. So industry professionals. Now, it doesn't have to be the Pro Program. Every industry professional also qualifies to just be a WebCenter owner, right? So share the business overview, the UBP information. Highlight WebCenters as one of the divisions. Then fall back on either the WebCenter owner overview or the pro overview. Then you get to share our technology, right? Share the B2B catalog, the marketing manual, share some videos from the YouTube or blogs, show them the technology. You can actually walk them through your web center, set up a demo site and show them how the technology works. You can also set them up as a web center intern in your back office. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Or you can even schedule a product overview or website demo with one of their clients or customers. Or if they are an industry professional, they own a business, you can schedule an appointment for them to get a demo of the software. Incredible way to leverage the product specialists, right? So questions that you want to ask an industry pro. And when I say industry pro, could be graphic design, web developer, IT solutions, SEO agency, social media, advertising sales, B2B sales, right? So many different types of industry professionals we're looking for. You got to ask them, are you currently outsourcing any of your work? Are you referring any business out? We've got many web center owners that have kind of prospected an industry professional, and they've said, you know what? I'm really not looking to take anything on in addition to what I'm doing, but I'm more than happy to refer you business. And would you like to have a referral source where you can take care of their clients and earn 100% of the retail profit? That's a great opportunity, right? So are they currently referring business out? To who? What services are you looking for? Are you currently turning away any business, right? Are you currently Are you turning away business? Are you missing some smaller clients? Are you missing smaller clients because you're so focused on the larger opportunities, right? Would you like to add additional services without the workload, right? Would you like to add additional services without the workload? That's a great question, right? Let's say it again. Would you like to add additional services without adding more work? And what that means is if they're currently maybe doing web design, would they like to offer maybe Google advertising, but they don't want to take it on themselves? Maybe they don't want to do SEO, or maybe it's an SEO firm, but they don't want to do web development or web design. Biggest question, are you open to additional streams of revenue? Are you open to additional streams of income? Right? These are great questions in your initial consultation or discovery meeting. So this is what industry professionals are up against, right? These are their current options. One is they can handle all of their clients' work, right? That's a positive. The con is that it's too busy to take on new clients, or they can't work on smaller businesses because they're not as profitable, and it's hard to scale a business, hard to grow a business. You're limited by the amount of work that you can do personally, right? Industry professionals, right? They're experts in their line of work, great, but anything unrelated must be outsourced and they lose profit potential. And then, of course, the competitive market offers more options. Now, the other thing is if they are outsourcing their work, there's a chance that they might lose a client. You know, they outsource SEO to another firm, and that SEO company says, we need to rebuild your site for performance. We'd like to take on your website. They might lose a client. How about all admin technology security is in-house? So that means that they're liable for all the technical upgrades, privacy, security, hosting, everything's on them. The pro, they get to determine who they want to service. The downside is that they're turning away business because you can only handle so much volume at any given time. And of course, adding new services means learning a new industry, right? They've got to learn social, they've got to learn SEO, they've got to learn content marketing and web design. They've got to learn all those things if they're really going to be an expert. They might have to take courses, they might have to go to classes, get certifications. It takes time, costs money. So we have a great solution for industry professionals. And think about it, if you add industry professionals, you can triple your commissions. And what I mean is an industry professional can sell what? More than website per week. Think about that. A website per week at 200 BV each sale, and let's say one digital marketing product per week, at least. So 200 BV times 4 weeks in a month is 800 BV per month per professional. I'm not even going to say WebCenter Pro, that's not available in all of our markets. So it could be any type of WebCenter owner, right? Plus the monthly hosting. And what about the other B2B services? So you're looking here, maybe, you know, it typically base 10, 7 strong, you've got 3 unfranchised owners on the left and 3 unfranchised owners on the right, all doing 400 BV. There's 1,200 BV on the left, 1,200 BV on the right, and that's a $300 commission check. You talk about WebCenter Pro, you're now talking about what? 3 times 800 alone is 2,400 plus personal use, right? Plus additional hosting volume or monthly management service fee volume. So getting to 3,600 BV on the left and right each month, by having industry professionals, you can escalate how quickly you're earning commissions. The frequency will continue to increase. So the WebCenter program can work for anyone, right? Just choose which background. Is it a WebCenter Pro, WebCenter Pro affiliate, or just a WebCenter owner? And that's fine, right? Our system is built on talking to business owners and leveraging the teams of professionals. So what do we look for? Yeah, industry professionals are great. Technical background is great, but ultimately, it's a people business, right? People that are friendly, motivated, self-driven, organized, well-connected. And of course, yes, industry professionals are a great target audience for you. And again, a great way to leverage your web center is to bring on an intern. You can have up to 4 interns at any given time for a 90-day period. You can also disable it at any time. After 90 days, it goes inactive. So there's a sense of urgency, right? So the goal is duplication, working with individuals who want to be unfranchised owners or web center owners. It's not about hiring people to work for you. Right? It's about hiring salespeople and then paying them a commission, right? Make sure that the time you spend is spent with people duplicating your efforts. So the WebCenter prospects can use the product specialist, and it's highly encouraged. That's how they're going to learn, right? It's going to improve their success rate. They're going to learn as they earn, and you can do that to help them graduate to full unfranchised ownership status more quickly, because now they're using product support, product specialists, selling a website, taking that retail profit to open up their business. And it also reinforces our proven duplicatable web center system that anyone can do this. You don't have to have a technical background. Now, remember, your web center internship program is not for existing UFOs or distributors, right? So your prospects in your internship cannot be UFOs. It's actually against policy and puts you liable for termination. So don't do that. You don't want to be at risk for that. If you do have unfranchised owners that want to leverage the web center program, work with them. Work with them to set the appointment, have them on the demo appointment, and then maybe split the retail profit with them so they can start their own web center. But you can't set them up as their own intern. So how does your intern get paid? Well, your intern sells the one website, but it's through your web center, so you actually get the commission. You're paid the commission, so you must use that profit to help them launch the intern, right? You should have a conversation with them up front and let them know what you're willing to do. Listen, with your retail profits, I'm willing to give you 50% of the sale, or I'll help you set up your unfranchised business. We'll get you set up on your UFMS. We'll get you set up with your web center management fees for up to 6 months. It will buy you a ticket for the next upcoming event. What you want to lay it out, be clear up front, make sure there's expectations and everyone knows what the game plan is, right? But you should use part of that retail profit to start the intern's web center business, right? It's perfectly acceptable to keep a portion for your own expenses, right? You've got taxes to pay, you've got web center owner fees, you've got travel expenses, you've got a business to run. So you can give extra profit to the new UFO, but you should also retain some of that as well, which provides further incentive why they should want to own their own web center as well, so they can earn 100% of the retail profit. So carefully select the interns to work with. Go through an interview, right? Go through an interview process. Do the overview, ask questions, and make sure that you've got the right candidates. You can only have 4 at a time. But think of that, it's a perfect trial run. You get 4 interns, maybe you got 2, you're thinking 2 on the left and 2 on the right, so when they come on board, you're gonna sponsor 4 new individuals. Or maybe out of the 4, maybe only 1 makes it, and that's okay. It's a great qualifying process. So then you activate them as a web center prospect in your web center. In your contact manager, under contact type, you just select web center prospect. It's that simple. Now educate them. Make sure you get them plugged into an upcoming WCT 101 or leverage the online WC information, the 5 C's, the YouTube channel, get them plugged into the basic 5, have them learn about the shopping annuity, have them do the home shopping list, help them convert their spending into earning as part of the process. And then using the WebCenter action plan, help them set up appointments and sell their first website. Don't just expect them to do it on their own. Coach them, mentor them, help them, assist them, because again, you're going to get 100% credit for all of their future sales and volume generated. And if they don't become a WebCenter owner or an unfranchised owner, they're going to help you create another list of prospects, another list of maybe WebCenter prospects, or another candidate list whereby you may not have had that at your disposal earlier. And of course, show the plan to see if they can lead to people. Go through the normal trial run process. And lastly, use the retail profit earned from the website sale to monetize their business. So as you can see, expanding distribution, step 4 of the basic 5 with WebCenter owners can be very profitable for your organization, right? So it's important to get WebCenter owners started correctly. Duplication is the key to your success. I say it's not, what's right is the most important thing. It's what duplicates is the most important thing, right? Whatever you do, good or bad, it will duplicate. So if it's not duplicatable, don't do it, right? If it's not duplicatable, don't do it. And that's a great way to make sure that you can expand through the entire basic 5, steps 1 through 5 with the WebCenter division. So I congratulate you for concluding the process. We've gone through 9 full innings with the WebCenter World Series. I would encourage you to recap and review this training series. I would take notes, and I would most importantly take action. Take action on everything that you've learned, from business building to retailing to even some information what we shared about each of the digital marketing products or website sales in general. And of course, stay active on the official WebCenter Owner Support Group on Facebook. And if you have any questions, make sure that you email us at mawebcenters@marketamerica.com.